so excited about this bit. I know I'm very excitable, but this has never been done before. We're using an SEO checker called Woorank. There is a paid service, but you can get a free version. But we have decided to pay for today for the example. So we're not being paid by Woorank. I don't want anyone to think that. There are plenty of SEO searches out there. And we're going to look at 3 different websites. We're going to look at Lucy's site as a mature site that's been open for a long time. And she's a web designer. That's why she's got such a high rank. We're going to look at one that was made just 3-4 weeks ago that has a lower rank. And we're going to look at one of the best in the world, which is the BBC site. So, Woorank. So we will start with Lucy's site. We've just checked it. It's got 70 out of 100. That means it needs improving by about 30%. The maths is easy there. There's some errors there. There's to improve there, and it's passed. Even the best in the world hasn't got 100. I've not seen one with 100 yet. So let's go down. Let's have a look. What have we got? It's saying that we want to optimize our site a little bit more, and that's fine. Keep going down a little bit more. So the title tag, you would have known when we talk about search engine optimization, it isn't just about these meta tags and tags. They're to draw the audience in. You have more words to use. Lucy's used 17 words. So she actually has 142 to use. It says Lucy Web Design. It says exactly what it does on the tin. I think that's brilliant.
The meta description, you must remember that the meta description is what appears on Google when you search for things. I was told when I first started doing all this always to put your phone number in there because people might just ring you. So that's, quite a
great little hack.
Yeah. So, and I just keep it succinct, and you can have different meta descriptions for different pages.
So headings, I've never really understood H1, H2, H3, H4, H5, but in very simple terms, these are like words on the website that Google pick up on, and they're titles.
That's all it is. Yeah, people think it's really complicated, but it's literally using in WordPress. You don't have font sizes. You have header 1, header 2, header 3, and so on, and paragraphs. And what it's saying is that Google pays special attention to ones that are header to these ones, basically. So when you're adding content to your site, bear in mind that if you use a header 1 tag, then it's what words do you put within that, and that Google will file it on the words that you make headers.
So the next word is a keyword cloud, and these are really interesting. If you watch the videos, what we were talking about, penguin and panda, keyword consistency is important, but not too much. So web design, that's mentioned 13 times. Maybe we could adjust that a fraction, maybe. It does work for Lucy, but you can see the majority of the things are 2. And when you're doing your Woorank, you can have a look and see. You might be quite surprised when I look at people's websites and they sell furniture and there's the word doorbell on there. And they think, well, why is that on there? And it's because they've mentioned the word doorbell 3 times. You really need to focus in on these certain words that are indexed.
So an alt attribute is basically some text that you put. So for instance, on a picture, well, it's all on pictures. So on a picture, you must make sure that you always name the pictures. And if we just go into Google, I'll show you exactly where the alt attribute resides.
About images, there shouldn't be too. It'll make the website a bit heavy if they're.
They mustn't be too big.
Too big. Low res.
So for instance,
pixelated.
North London Fitness was a website that I did, and in the the alt text here, it literally just means putting it there, and so that's all it is. So these instances, that's the name of the picture. That's the caption would be visible on the site, so you don't really want to do that unless you want it to be visible on the site. The alt text is in here, and you can also put a bit of description. And these 2 boxes are picked up by Google.
So if you want to dominate pictures and you're not giving Google what it needs, you're a boat in the ocean just floating along, and you need to send flares up into the sky saying, I'm here. And by filling that bit in, it's tedious but important.
The amount of websites I get, and I look at them, and they've left the image as image 2468, and you just think, so it's very important that you name it.
For sure.
And not name it what the picture is, by the way. I mean, in this case it is. But if it's a picture of a flower and you're a florist, you wouldn't call it flower. You'd say florist in Winchmore Hill or whatever.
Well, when we get around to the BBC's website, we're going to have a good look. And I'm sure that they've got this bit under control. But let's have a look. We don't know. You're watching this live to add to the excitement. Let's keep going, Lucy. What have we got? So the pages. This is a very mature site. It's got lots and lots of pages of relevance, and
lots of it. Because I make websites, obviously I've got a lot of external links because I link to people. I ask people to do testimonials, put them on my blog, and then of course I link to their sites. So they're getting a bit of a kudos because luckily I'm quite high up in Google. So therefore their sites link to me, so that does them good, and obviously it's reciprocal.
So internal links, Lucy's got 81 internal links. What does that mean, Lucy?
It means I've got links to content within the site. So on my blog, for instance, might be linking back to pages, and the testimonials are linked to the testimonial page. So it's that kind of thing.
Google absolutely love internal links, so make sure that yours are high. You've got a big tick for broken links. I remember checking my website a few weeks ago, and I checked for broken links. Even though I'm quite up to date on this stuff, I still had 3 broken links. Very simple to do. You just go to how do I check my broken links. There are lots of free websites that check your broken links, and generally it's just something's gone out of date, or a blog that you wrote a long time ago isn't there anymore. Fix your broken links.
I need to put I've got a sitemap, but it's not showing up on the robot, so I need to go in and fix that. The trouble with being a web designer is you're always looking at other people's sites. It's a bit scary for me looking at my own. So
URL parameters, I don't know what that means.
It just means that they're within the reason. There's no stop words. They're doing what they should say.
Should do what they say. It says no to flash, but yes to frames on blocking factors. There's
Flash, well, Apple don't like Flash. So they got rid of it, didn't they? And maybe I've got some Flash on there.
You've got a little bit of Flash there.
But that just is because it's quite an old site now.
So it's saying that Lucy's website was created 10 years ago. There's a lot of credibility to that. It really wants to see that you've stuck around a little while.
And also it says it expires in 6 months. Google like it if you pay for them 5 years in advance.
Yeah.
They like to know that you're not going away anytime soon. So I need to renew that pretty soon and update it.
So this is interesting. It's missing an image, and so when you share a link, sometimes it doesn't come up with an image, and it's worth doing.
So I'll have to go in and fix that as well.
Look at this. This is amazing. Mobile friendliness, very, very good. It shows how your website looks on an iPad and an iPhone. That's brilliant. We love that. Visibility URL, 15 lengths, and it's Lucy Web Design. Vavacom, look what a cute Vavacom Lucy has. I'm of the feeling that without a Vavacom, Google doesn't take you as seriously, but we've done some research. It's not as important as it used to be, but certainly look how lovely that is. I highly recommend all pages have a Vavacom for redirect. This is about when you get chucked out of the website, telling you to go back in, and if you just use the regular Google one, it's not as well respected. Now, this is how I learned. There was things on here that I had no clue what they were, so I would Google them and then just figure it out and phone Lucy and say, Lucy, can you improve on this? Having a relationship with your web designer and a trustworthy web designer at that.
Now, say my server's in San Francisco, which is controversial because it should be in the UK, but it's actually okay because it's on a Cloudflare. And what that means is that it means the site's going to load more quickly because it's the images and so on are on the cloud. So even though it's telling us it's in San Francisco, it's okay.
So your server is a really important part of this SEO journey. Where you host your website, they should do a backup. They should, is that right?
Every night.
They should do that every night. They should
Keep on top of the security.
Keep the speed of your website. So please don't go for a $1.99 deal that's in India, because your uptime is important. That if the website is inconsistent, there's wherever your server is, they have electricity strikes.
Yes.
And they're not, and your uptime isn't 99.9%. Very bad news. So choose your host properly.
SSL certificates, new thing. Used to be that you only had to have an SSL certificate if you were selling things, but now Google wants everybody to have them. So you'll know that when you go here, sometimes when you go to certain websites, it doesn't have a padlock. Gary's has got a padlock, that's good. But certain sites, when you go on there, they haven't got a padlock, and that you are getting ranked accordingly now. So it's about £65 a year, so it's a bit of a drag, but it is important that you have it.
We're getting to backlinks now that we were talking about Penguin Panda, making sure that we've got a really, really great source of information coming in. And you can see Lucy's web design has an incredible 763,000 backlinks. Wow.
I have no idea where they come from.
People would give their left arm for that kind of, I know where. Lots of people saying that you're brilliant. Referring domains 335, that's very respectable. Social media, you see Lucy's got 156 shares. Now I know she's got comments, but for some reason it's not picking that up, and we'll have to look into that. Your Facebook page. Now on the Hummingbird update in 2010, I think it said that the relevance of a social media platform gives some kudos, not only kudos but trust. So if you put a backlink or a link to the website and it's coming from Twitter or Facebook, it really does make a difference. So you can see there's a lot of weight attached to having social media. You don't have to have them all, but having one or two and having the live feed on the website is really important.
This is really important too, because this was the Beach Boys saying happy birthday to me at the Albert Hall.
You don't get that every day.
That was very important.
So you got 6,000. It's saying 6,585. Do you know there's done 23,000 tweets? Incredible.
That's bonkers, isn't it?
So Lucy's is the mature site. It's got lots of things to be praised about. Now this is brand new. Lucy's made this site not more than a month ago. The fact that it's got 54 is a real testament to you, Lucy.
Thank you very much.
It's past most of the things. It still has a few errors. So let's have a look. It wants us to optimize the site. So we will do that. The meta description, I will fill that in. I definitely get that looked at. Now let's see. The lots of keywords. Dispensing optician has been mentioned too many times. 7 times.
But this site's only been around for 2 weeks, so it's looking pretty good, really.
I'm pretty happy with that. Sitemap is something we'll look at.
You haven't got any flash.
It's only created 2 months ago. We're missing an image. We'll fix that. This is what it looks like on mobile. It's not touch screen ready, so we'll look into that. It's got a favicon, which is great.
I like the new logo, Gary. It's very nice.
Thank you very much. Made by Georgia Stilianu, very talented young lady. So you can see there's lots to work on that, but there's something that's out of my control.
Oh look, your SSL certificate expires in a month.
It's only 2 months old.
It's already expired.
It's already expired. So in a year's time, if I did nothing at all, it would rank higher because it's a year old. So should we look at the BBC one? Let's see what's going on there. So this is the creme de la creme, 95. It still has errors, which that makes me feel better, certainly. So should we flick through? Let's see what they're so good at. So they've not used all their words on the home page for their tag, which is great. The Google preview, it really is selling. So you can look, this is perfect. It says that you got the homepage, breaking news, sport, TV, radio, and a whole lot more. The BBC informs, educates, and entertains. That is a real pull to bring you in. Perfect. Nothing there has more than 2. You can see that is a textbook.
Very good, isn't it? Yeah.
Textbook exactly what they know. So what are the warning, threatens for the Himalayas, Oscars. You can see it's all quite up to date as well.
That's what I was going to say. The thing with the BBC is obviously it's been updated all the while.
Blue Planet, a film event, it's really relevant and up to date. And I bet they're changing that all the time.
Look, they've named everything.
An incredible 14,000 pages. Wow. You'd need a team of 10, 15 people going for years to get that many pages of content.
Nice lot of links.
Yep.
No broken links, as we would expect. So here's the thing that keeps popping up recently. I use a local company to do my hosting, and it's funny when people use these bigger companies, they sometimes don't do things quite how you want them to. And what's been happening lately is that the servers that they use haven't been put in the www dot in front. And what people don't realise is if you don't specify the www dot, if you go to the site without the www dot, it goes to a page that is blank, or it's doing your business damage, and people will think, where's the site gone? So it's very, very important that you make sure that you test your website. Has it got the www or not? And if it hasn't, it needs to work with both. You need to contact your hosting provider and make sure that that is in place.
You can see even the BBC, the mighty BBC, have problems with their sitemap, underscores in URL. So it doesn't like that. There's too many underscores, you see. Underscores is a character that the bots do not read. So you can see that one. They've got such little to say about the BBC. They've picked up on that.
I'll tell you something else. The and sign, if you use the ampersand, Google doesn't know what that is either. So any content that you write after you've used that and is not readable. So it's very important that we don't do that.
I hope this has been good to you, because what we really tried to do is look at 3 different sites and their Woorank. If you go onto Woorank, you get one report for free. Thereafter, you have to pay. So we're not being paid by these guys. It's just something I've used for years and years and years, and it's really helped me to understand how SEO works. It's a great SEO tool. There are others.
I was just thinking, obviously watching this video, we're hoping that you guys all come back to us and comment on things. So if you've got a better alternative or other ways of doing it, then do please let us know.